This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas, the prairie skies are wide and high. Deep in the heart of Texas, deep in the heart of Texas.
Welcome, one and all, to King of the Hill podcast. I am Mike.
I am Rusty.
He's still rusty.
I'm still rusty. Yeah.
No matter what you do to him, he stays rusty.
Still rusty.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Oh, it's going great. It's going great. I had a really long break from work due to the winter storm. I'm not sure if it was local or state government forced some of the factories in the area to stop certain utilities. They shut off like certain utilities to these factories to divert resources where they might else be needed. And they shut us down for 3 days, and it was really cool because I'm expecting, it's the beginning of the year. I've got all my vacation time. I'm expecting to have to burn some time to cover those days off. And when I went to work last night, I'm logging into our time sheet and everything, and it said emergency, 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 and they paid us for all 3 days. So
wow, that's really nice.
Yeah, I was really surprised. It's
amazing that the I doubt the government was involved because I would think they'd make you pay them.
Maybe, but no, they said it was somebody that it was something to do with the government or something that made them close down. I'm not sure what exactly utility it was or why, but they paid me for it. So I had a long vacation.
I'm sure old Wheels doesn't want any bad publicity with all his utilities shutting down and everything again.
Well, not right now anyway. They just lost a big state Senate runoff in Tarrant County. That's a massive county. If anybody knows about Texas, Tarrant County is where I believe Fort Worth sits.
It is.
And, that's a big that is the only city in the United States with over 1 million people that is red.
Really? Wow.
Fort Worth is the only red city in the United States that is a major metropolis, or whatever you want to call it. Metropolitan area. Yeah.
Hey, before we get started, let me show something here real quick. As promised, the whoops, that's the wrong one. As promised, the T-shirt is up and out. Where did I put that? My dear God!
Oh yeah, the T-shirt.
Losing my effing mind here. Let me grab it real quick. It's the T-shirt is ready to go. It is at roguemediamerch.com. Again, it is the one that won the poll. So it's Boomhauer saying that dang old money's like the wind, man. Only feel it when it's moving, man. We've sold a couple, which is wonderful. I'm glad you guys are able to get what we put on the market there. If you want to go check one out, it's roguemediamerch.com. There will be some more stuff going up. I'm going to Bois hat and a couple other things up there before hopefully the end of the day. And
you should,
those will be available as well.
You should try to take our faces out of that drawing that was drawn for us and put our faces on the hat or something like that.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. I would wear one of those. I'll wear your face and you wear my face. How about that?
Yeah, you should. Yeah, that's what you should do. You should offer one with both, and then one with just each of our
one that just says Mike real big, and one that just says Rusty real big with our faces.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I like that. Yeah. All right, guys, let's get this party started. We are a King of the Hill rewatch podcast, and we are all the way up to season 8. If you don't include season 14 that we did,
Yeah, we did.
and so we're at season 8, episode 14, ironically enough, or in the year of our Lord 8 ABE 011. Dale, be not proud. And
That's
this
a good one.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
This one aired March 14th, 2004. When race car driver John Force needs a kidney transplant, Dale turns out to be the perfect match, and Peggy helps Bobby win over his classmates when he reads announcements over the school's intercom system. This is the perfect amount of Peggy for an episode.
It is. Absolutely.
Yeah. And she's actually useful in this one.
Yeah, and this is a really good culture episode if you want to dive into what you could call it Texas culture. I don't know if I'd call it Texas culture. Dirt track racing is definitely Texas culture, but drag racing, I would say there's an element of Americana to that in Texas and
Oh, absolutely.
But John Force, for people who don't know who John Force is literally one of the best, what they call funny car, not funny haha, but funny fast. They're a style of drag car, and he's been drag racing for, I don't know, I think he's been doing it since 1978 as a driver. He's been active since 1978, but he's got like 16 championships. He's in like the Hall of Fames for everything. He's won the World Finals. He's won all the funny car champion stuff for the NRA and HRA. He literally won the last 2 years in a row. Driver of the year in 96.
Oh, he's still racing, huh?
Yeah, 157 wins and 269 final rounds. He's the first driver with over 100 wins. I don't know. He's just an insanely good at his job. He actually has his kids that also do it now. So his daughter Ashley is a drag strip driver, and they're the first father-daughter pair to compete against each other in our NHRA. So they actually competed against each other, and she actually beat her dad in the first round of the NHRA Southern Nationals in Atlanta in 2008. But yeah, so he is a massive figure in racing. Just think Dale Earnhardt on the drag strip. That's the importance of John Force to that culture. So John Force in this show is actually voiced by himself. And I have a few other voices I wanted to knock out real fast because this one is kind of got a couple of cool voices, John Force being one of them. Dr. L. Tabor, who's the nephrologist for John Force and Dale Gribble or whatever, the kidney thing, the kidney doctor. He is voiced by Larry Miller.
Larry Miller, one of my favorite comics of all time. Very
I like
guy.
Larry Miller. For those of you that don't know who Larry Miller is, I guess I'll make it a little more culturally relevant to you. He was Dean Richmond in The Nutty Professor. He was the dean of the college that the professor worked at. He was also in The Princess Diaries. He was Paula Putanesca. He's the one that that styled Anne Hathaway's character in that episode. And he was also in Mad About You. He was the boss in Dilbert. He was in Boston Legal, Pretty Woman, and I think he was probably. That's not listed here. I think the AV Club, wasn't it, that he was in? The big start for him, I think, was like the AV
He's been
Club.
on a lot of things. Yeah. He used to be on Letterman all the time. He was a very much a touring comedian, but he wrote a lot of stuff too, and then acted in several things. Just super dry humor, very, very funny guy.
Yeah, I like him. Yeah. Oh, speaking of humor, I was gonna say real fast. Speaking of humor, rest in peace to Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that one kind of came out of nowhere, didn't it? That was weird.
Yeah. Well, she apparently she revealed a few years ago that she had a heart condition, the one that puts your heart on the other side of your body. It's called dextrocardia. It puts your heart on the other side of your chest instead of on the correct side. So your heart's like over here instead of here, kind of thing. And I guess it was something to do with that. But I didn't realize she was 71 years old either. I think the saddest part about it all was the tribute from Macaulay Culkin to her that he had posted, and he called her mama and everything. And he was like, "I
That's
wish we had
cool.
more time and stuff." So that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's
Back
really
to
cool. That was
non-sad things.
that was a pretty classy move by him. That's pretty nice. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
it
that.
was. He meant a lot to her because I mean, at that time in his life, it was real tumultuous, like his dad and them, and the exploitation of a child star and stuff like that. So she was kind of like a
Um,
figure for him, a
I'm being
positive.
told that that John Force retired, but he still owns a big NHRA team. He had some health stuff or some injuries, they said. Here's a picture of
Uh,
him. Let's see if I can get that up there. There we go. Whoop. He came up and went down. There he is. There's old John Force, in case you wanted to know what he looks like. And honestly, he looks just like that in the show, but he's got dark hair instead because it's been several years. I
nah,
would
he
imagine drag racing takes something out of you.
nah, he only retired in November 13th. So
Oh, okay.
he's raced recently. Yeah, he just recently
Okay.
retired.
Very cool.
Yeah, no, he raced in the 2024 season. Now, I'm a big like motorsports guy, so I know he had 157 wins and 269 rounds in 2024. So
Wow.
he definitely raced.
That's
He
quite a
actually
few.
got into a he actually had a crash. He actually had a real bad crash
Uh-huh.
in 2024 in Virginia, and that's when I think that's what led to his eventual retirement.
There you go. All right, so this one starts at the Arlen Speedway. We're at the track, and we see the Christmas tree lights. You know, the ones that go from green, 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 yellow, 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 red, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
And the guys are over there just like they're standing next to the fence, but they're standing next to the track drinking. And we hear Dale first. He says, "You know, these funny cars go fast. When that car hits the finish line, the driver is actually younger than when he started." That's bullshit, Dale,
That's
but
funny.
okay.
I like that though. That's good. That's a good joke. That's a good
Bill,
conspiracy theory.
that's right. And then you hear Boomhauer, man, talking about dang old Grease Lightning, man, just like them old Rod Sticker, man. Still got one of them on my lunchbox, man. So the best part of that to me is the fact that Boomhauer still carries a lunchbox. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Hank says, "Oh my God, that's Austin Coyle, chief mechanic of the John Force Racing Team. Just look at that man. He moves beautifully. It's just a mechanic over there working on a car." And then you hear Bill say, "John Force is the greatest funny car racer ever. He's done more in a quarter mile than I've done in my whole life." Dale says, "Do we follow him?" Hank's like, "No." Yes. So they do follow him
Yeah.
over to the cars being worked on. You know, it's kind of like
Oh
the
yeah.
back row or whatever. And we see John Force standing there in his Castrol suit, you know, Castrol Racing oil company. And we got first one is Bill says, Boomhauer, yo, check it out, dang, 2 o'clock. And you hear Hank, wow, John Force. So they finally see John Force. And the funny thing about this is John Force just comes up and starts talking to him because he hears his name.
Yeah.
I'm not
Well,
sure
he's
that's the
just
way
a
it
regular
works.
guy. Well,
Yeah.
probably most of those guys are just regular. They're obviously revered highly, but like
Mhm.
a lot of the people that say they met, you know, Dale Earnhardt at the gas station, he was just a normal guy with wearing
Yeah.
jeans and an oily T-shirt. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah. He comes out and he goes, "Howdy, fellas. Y'all come to see some racing?" And Hank's like, "Oh, yes." And then Bill is John Force is talking to us. Hank says, "So, what kind of time are you shooting for today, John?" I mean, he just can't believe he's talking to this guy, you know.
John, yeah.
And John says, "I can't race today. I've been feeling a bit sick. No one should go out and drive 300 miles an hour unless they can keep their breakfast down." Dale's like, "Well, that just blows." Hank's like, "Dale, I'm sorry you had to hear that. Are you okay?" He goes, "I think I need to sit down." I mean, he doesn't look great, you know, at this point. He looks like he's a
No, he
little rough.
doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we hear, Forrest, as long as you're sitting down, you might try sitting behind the wheel and doing your job. Hank says, "Dale," he goes, "just a suggestion." Then we transition over to Tom Landry Middle School. We're outside of Principal Moss's office. Peggy's sitting there, and this is something I've never seen before. A bunch of substitute teachers just sitting and waiting to be assigned to a class. That's crazy to me. Bobby sees his mom as he's coming by the office, and he goes, "Hey, mom, I didn't know you were subbing today." She says, "I am not, but word on the street is that Miriam Caney's been throwing up in the bathroom the last few mornings, so I better put in a little FaceTime with Principal Moss if I want to land that sweet, sweet maternity gig."
That's funny.
And so they just sit there and they wait for a job to come open, wait for somebody
Just
to get
there
sick.
waiting, somebody in the bathroom puking.
There's 3 other teachers over there
Could
waiting.
be
Um,
could be alcoholism, knowing
that's
teachers.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
We used to have a teacher
Actually,
that would
oh,
bring
go
in
ahead.
like a 12 pack, and it was all full of it. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad said that back in the 70s and stuff like that, there was a lot of like teachers sipping whiskey in the afternoon and smoking
Oh, I don't
cigarettes and
doubt
stuff
that.
like that.
I think everybody
Uh,
was sipping whiskey in the afternoon in the 70s.
yeah, I mean, why not, right? That was nice. I actually have have been sipping, not I'm not I'm no longer an alcoholic and I haven't drank in years, so it's not
Yeah.
like a rabbit hole I'm going down. I have the tools necessary to not fall down that hole ever again. But
Yeah.
I bought a little pint of Knob Creek that I've been putting in coffee at night as like a little nightcap nip kind of thing with some coffee.
Yeah.
Uh, it's really nice. It's really a smooth Kentucky straight, a really nice bourbon. In this episode, though, we have Mike Soto, who she mentions next. This is Mike
Yeah.
Soto with the morning announcements. That is voiced by. It's an over. Okay, his description is he's an overachieving student at Tom Landry Middle School. He plays the clarinet in the band, and he also has experience in color guard. But he's in an episode called "What Makes Bobby Run." He lost to Bobby the contest to become the school's mascot in that episode, and then
Oh, okay. Yeah.
he's in this episode as the kid doing the announcements, and he's
Yeah. It
also
looks like
in
they
the episode "Oh Yeah." Mike and his mother notice Peggy Hill when she is dressed as a prostitute while studying at the library.
he it looks like they have kind of a rotating cast of morning announcements or whatever, and Mike Soto just happens to be the one that's up there right now. He is sitting at a desk across from where all this is taking place with Peggy and Bobby, and we hear him say, "This is Mike Soto with the morning announcement. Students going on science club field trip must have 2 forms of permission slip, or they won't be allowed on the bus." And it pans over to Bobby, and he goes, "Thanks for that big cup of boring. Tune in tomorrow when Bobby Hill takes over the morning announcements." Peggy says, "Good for you, Bobby." He goes, "I can pull this. If I can pull this off, class clown is a lock." I'm not sure who's shooting for class clown,
Well,
but
Bobby
apparently
is.
Bobby is. Yeah,
Bobby
no
is
kidding.
also the Mike Soto character. His dad also is a character in the show. He's the police officer on Bad Girls, What You Gonna Do, which is the episode where Tid Powell comes in and she teaches Bobby to cook crystal meth.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
officer that's like holding the rock of meth, that's actually his dad. So
Oh, that's cool.
fun fact,
Now
yeah, not that it's pertinent to the episode, but fun fact.
Now, now we're in the alleyway with all 4 of the guys. Hank is holding a newspaper and he's kind of reading through it and he goes, "Oh, that John Force is one tough SOB. I'll tell you what. Says here he's going to be just fine right after they replace 70% of his blood." Wow, that seems like a big deal.
That is a big
70% of your
deal.
blood.
He said it so like nonchalant too.
Just after they replace 70% of his blood.
70% of his blood. We're like 75% blood, and he has to replace 70% of it.
Still got that 5. You hear
Yeah.
Bill say, "I'll give him mine. Us dough trees bleed real easy." And then you hear Boomhauer, "Dang old count me in, man." So they're all willing to give blood. Hank says, "So it's settled. We all go give blood together." Dale, "Count me out. The vast majority of unauthorized face removals happen to people in hospitals." Hank says, "You disappoint me, Dale." He goes, "Get in line." Later, some time
Get in
passes. We're still
line. I like that.
get in line. Yeah, he's
That's
disappointing
a good
everybody.
shirt. A stick figure, that would be a good shirt. 2 stick figures, one of
Yeah.
them like a Hank like stick figure and a Dale like stick figure, and with like a line instead of a bubble, just like a line to the
Yeah.
phrase, "You disappoint me, Dale," and then Dale say, "Get in
Get in
line."
line.
That'd be a good shirt.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. So we transition to a little bit later in the alley, and you see Hank, Bill, and Boomhauer standing way over to one side, and then Dale is being ostracized because he wouldn't want to give blood to John Force. And so Dale's just standing over there, kind of like, "Yep, Yep.
Yep.
They all look away at him because they don't want to look at him because they're mad at him. He says, yeah, that silent treatment won't work on me. I don't need to talk to. I have my thoughts. And he's like, I can't be alone with my thoughts. You've heard them. Where are you going? Where are you going? And Hank says, we're going to give blood at the blood bank where we talk about old times and wear IA blood hats. He goes, wait up. So he goes off with them. We're back at the school. This is the next day. We're waiting for the announcements to start. It's Bobby's big day, right? He's gonna do the announcements
huge
now.
day. I mean, that's pretty monumental for somebody as performative as him, being able to do the announcements, because you get to kind of do a little flair, a little pizzazz. I've done a lot of voice stuff in school, a lot of speaking, or whenever the teacher would be like, "Who wants to read out loud?" I would have to be told by the teacher to stop, because I would read the whole book if they let me. Yeah, I just sit there and read the whole book out loud just to get through it, because it's painstaking for kids that can't read as well. So I would be annoyed by that. So I would just be like, I'll read 3 pages to everybody else's 1 if you let me. Like, we got to get through this book somehow. So I always volunteered to read or stuff like that. So
you just want to get through it. That's all it was.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it was painful. It was like I'm not. I don't want to knock the American education system, because I don't blame it on the school itself. But when I was a kid, it just seemed like a lot of kids that were good at other things didn't have to be good at reading.
Oh, that's absolutely true. Sure.
Yeah. And it got worse when we got into high school.
I think it's pretty bad right now. Yeah. So Bobby is getting ready for the announcements. Emily, of course, we're being visited by Emily again. She is there getting the cables ready and all that. She plugs in the microphone. Bobby says, I feel sorry for Mike Soto. Just because his name is Mike doesn't mean he should be talking on one, trying to be funny. He goes, you see, Emily, that's the kind of zing I bring to the table. She goes, Mike Soto didn't have to be funny. He had credibility. You better be funny. Just turns on the mic like that quick. Bobby's like, good morning, Tom Landry Middle School. And birthday news. Nurse Barrow turns 40 today. Of course, that's still 2 years younger than the meatloaf in the cafeteria. Nobody laughs.
Hey, zing. No reaction. That's good. I like that one.
No, nothing. He goes, would the owner of a red Schwinn please report to the bike rack? You left your reflector on. Nothing. Everybody's just looking at him, staring at him. The bell finally rings. He goes, whew, that's the bell for the first period. Either that or the school doorbell's stuck, as if schools had doorbells. And so, like, his first little gig here did not go super well. Nobody laughed. Yeah, it was a dead audience. All right.
It reminds me of when, reminds me of Good Morning Vietnam, whenever they take Robin Williams and they put that other guy in there.
Yeah.
That other guy was just awful.
Yeah. All right. So we're at we go over to the Arlen McManerberry Regional Medical Center. What a name. And this is where they're going to give blood. Dale is over there already drinking and eating the orange juice and cookies. And one of the lab guys comes up and goes, sir, the snacks are for after you've given blood. We haven't even checked your blood type. He goes, oh, that won't be necessary. I'm type V. There is no type V, Dale, but okay. He says, all right. He sticks his finger out and the guy pricks his finger. Little bitty bit of blood comes out. Dale passes right out. He wakes up in a hospital bed, but there's a lot of light in his eyes. The doctor's running one of those light bulbs, one of those flashlights back and forth to his eyes to see if he's awake. And he's like, I'll talk, like almost immediately. That's the thing about Dale. He holds all this stuff in and like it's so secretive, but as soon as you press him at all, he's like, I'll talk. He's ready to go. He's ready to give it all up. And the doctor says, Mr. Gribble, you just had a seizure brought on by a vasovagal reaction. You're going to be just fine. Hank is there also with the doctor. He says, you're going to be better than fine, Dale. You're going to be a hero. He goes, why? Because John Force needs a new kidney and all our blood was screened, tested, and cataloged in the computer. It's like, oh God, not the master computer. He's more worried about that than anything else. He goes, it looked like a Dell. Anyway, the printout said your kidney was a perfect match for John Force. He goes, but I need my kidney. It keeps my other kidney company. He goes, Mr. Gribble, the odds of finding another match are 1 in 80,000. The doctor says that to him. He goes, you better get to it then. Hey, doc, there's a phone book. I mean, he does not want to give away his kidney.
No, he does not want to give it away at all. I wouldn't want to give away my kidneys either.
Well,
I don't
especially to
know.
somebody
It
you
would have
don't
to be
really
somebody
know.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd have to be like a family member or something.
Yeah, selfishly, but for sure, definitely somebody close. Or I don't
I
know,
mean, I'm not looking to,
maybe I don't know. I'm not looking to
I'm
sell
not
my
looking to,
kidney or get rid of it. Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I don't care to do that. I'm okay. All right. So we're now back at the alley. All four. And Hank is like, dang it, Dale, you're not even going to think about it. We're talking about John Force. He goes, not for long. I mean, geez, that's rough right there. We're talking about John Force, not for
It
long.
is rough.
God almighty. Bill says, he can have mine, even if it doesn't match. Hank says, Dale, I know this is a huge thing to ask of anyone, but you'd be saving the life of a true American hero. Think of it, Dale. If you did this, you and John Force would be friends for life. Maybe I've been looking at this all wrong. Gentlemen, let's go see John Force. So they go off to John Force's hospital room, and John Force says, I can't thank you enough for doing this, Dale. My kids thank you too. Dale says, they're gorgeous. Now let's talk turkey. If you want my kidney, I got to get something in return. Hank's like, Dale. He said, no, it's okay. What can I do for you? First off, I reserve the right to call you 24 hours a day to prove to people I know you. I do not play favorites with my organs. If you take my kidney on vacation, my other organs go too. And finally, if I want you to put Dale's dead bug on top of your race car. Can you imagine a freaking funny car with Dale's dead bug on top of it? I don't even know where you
that would
put
be
it.
awesome.
It would be awesome, but I don't know where you put it, you know?
You just put it right on top. Screw
I guess,
aerodynamics.
man.
You just slap it right on top.
He says, that thing's really going to slow me down. He goes, not as slow as if you're dead. Deal? He says, deal. They leave the room, Hank and Dale. And Dale says, okay, let's get this done. Where do I go? Do I have to sit on some kind of special toilet? I love that line. Do I have to sit on some kind of special toilet? Hank says, Dale, you know this is major surgery, right? You're going to have to be in the hospital for 3 days. I can't afford to be out of commission for 3 days. As one of Arlen's leading skeptics, I got my fingers in a lot of pies. He goes, but Dale, you made a deal. What about all the great stuff you got from John? Damn the stuff. Stuff is my weakness. All right, Hank, I'm still going to go through with this if you promise me one thing. He goes, anything, Dale? What is it? You have to make sure nothing happens to me, that no one steals my brain, or if they do, they replace it with one of equal or greater value. He says, I promise. He says, there's more. You also have to take care of all my affairs, my business dealings, why I'm just indisposed. You must be Dale Gribble. He goes, whatever it takes. So be it. I'll give John Force my kidney, the left one, I think. Now, let me just redirect my waist to the right one. And he goes, the process has begun. And that is our first commercial break. We will take that and we'll be
right back.
There it is. Join the Daily High Club, the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and accessories. Since 2015, we've sold over 1 million quality products and teamed up with legends like Snoop Dogg and Tommy Chong. Ready to elevate your smoking game? Visit dailyhighclub.com for our El Primo subscription box or shop unique pieces today.
Discover the world of luxury sex toys at Luxury Toy X and indulge in the ultimate pleasure experience. For years, we have been dedicated to the belief that sexuality and wellness are essential components of a happy and healthy life. With over 70,000 satisfied customers, we take pride in our ability to provide products that enhance your sexual well-being. Join our community of satisfied customers and unlock a world of pleasure and self-discovery. Visit luxurytoyx.com today.
Apollo Neuro is a new kind of wearable that helps your body recover from stress, that helps you calm down and feel better. You sleep better, and you can get back to being yourself. Learn more at apolloneuro.com.
I'm Hunter, the founder of Hello Cake, and today we're digging into ED meds. The #1 thing we hear is that guys are sick of waiting for ED meds to kick in. Traditional ED meds take about an hour to kick in as they have to go through your digestive system, where Hello Cake's ED medication dissolves under your tongue and works in about 15 minutes. That's about 3 times faster than traditional ED medication. Curious about ED meds? Go to hellocake.com.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
Baby girl, were you staring at me? You know that's not convincing, right? Try again. Well, you shouldn't just be staring then. You should taste.
I miss your presence, your laughter.
That AI commercial gets me every time.
Yeah, it gives me too.
It is so creepy. We got Ghetto Cowboy in here. We got Elsways.
Oh, Ghetto Cowboy, welcome in, bud.
TJ Ferguson. Thanks for being here, guys. I see there's several of you in here, but we got 3 of them that commented, so I just wanted to make sure I called you guys out. All right, so Dale has begun the move of his waste from one kidney to the next, which he cannot do, but says he can. And then now we're in Dale's basement because he wants Hank to take over for him, right? He has to be him for 3 days, basically. And so he's giving him the wherefore and the what out and all that. So, okay, Hank, once you sign this power of attorney, you're legally me. He hands Hank a clipboard. He goes, now, the show turtles get fed every day except for the hatchlings who eat every hour. They like a mix of 1/3 dandelion leaves, 1/3 skinned chopped mice, and a mango, but only if it's fresh. Don't be surprised if they defecate in their drinking water. It's a sign of high spirits. Hank's like taking notes and stuff, and he goes, well, where do I get mice? He goes, oh, I left a plate of bacon in your attic. You should have plenty by nightfall.
Oh, wow. That's
bacon
horrible.
in his attic. Now we're over at the Hill Kitchen. Bobby and Peggy are sitting at the breakfast table talking. And Bobby says, I can't believe I got 2 more days of not being funny ahead of me. And then the rest of my life, funny's all I got. Look at me. Peggy says, Bobby, the reason people weren't laughing is not because you're not funny. It's because they don't know they were supposed to laugh. She goes, you're as funny as Wacky and Steve on Power 100, even the Morning Dog Pound. The only thing that separates you from them is a cowbell. And she shows him a big cowbell here, right? He goes, really? She goes, yes. And it's funny to me that Bobby didn't think of this, that Peggy thought of it, you know? Because you would think Bobby'd be right on it with the props and stuff.
You would think so. Well, I mean, Peggy can be funny looking.
She goes, yes, your audience doesn't want to work so hard. The cowbell enables them to laugh without having to think. The cowbell tells them, yes, the joke is over. And yes, it was funny. Luann comes in and she's like ruffling through the fridge. And she goes, hey, Luann, guess what we're having for dinner tonight? She goes, flapjacks. She gets no response from Luann. She goes, I said flapjacks, and rings the bell. Ding, 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 ding. She goes, ha, 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 now I get it. Like it was the same. I've never really understood why the sound effects on those morning zoo type things were there. Now,
yeah, I don't know.
This does kind of make sense, though, that you are so out of it in the mornings and stuff like that, that kind of stuff either wakes you up or signals the fact that, okay, let's get to laughing. Let's get to doing something. I don't know. I'd have a hard time on a morning show. I tried being oh, look at there. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I got delivered some coffee.
Yeah, I did too. Actually, I got delivered some coffee.
Very nice. My barista kissed me on the cheek. It was very nice.
Mine threw it at me and said they were missing stuff on our order, so I had to make sure that I fixed that. Yeah.
So she says flapjacks, rings the bell, and then she laughs and she goes, now I get it. And Bobby says, so all I have to do is ring that bell after every joke? He goes, you don't ring it. Your sidekick rings it. If they're good, they repeat what you say, what makes it even funnier. He goes, Mom, you have to be my sidekick. She goes, sidekick, nothing. Sidekick, rings the bell. Everybody laughs. Everybody thinks it's just the funniest thing ever. Now, we're at Dale's house at supper, and Dale is just drinking water through a straw. His wife realizes that that's what's going on, and she goes, "I couldn't help noticing, Shug, you're not eating any solids and you're only drinking clear fluids." He goes, "Oh, that's because I'm donating one of my kidneys to John Force tomorrow." She's like, "What?" He says, "Oh, did I not mention that? No, I won't be home for 3 days. Love you. Well, got to get shaved," and he leaves. Nancy's just
Yeah, that's
stunned.
wild. Just so casually. Yeah, well, gonna get my kidney
Shaved.
taken out tomorrow. Yeah.
All right, we're at the medical center. He is on a stretcher, and they're pushing him towards the operating room, and he's talking to Hank as Hank walks alongside, and he says, 4 knocks and a honk, gun club. 3 knocks, just hand the guy a Folgers can of money. This is my business line. Answer it only between 9:08 and 9:23, and he hands him a little flip phone. Next thing we see is obviously Dale's been taken back to surgery. Hank is kind of pacing in the waiting room. A doctor comes out with a mask on, and he goes, "Gribble," and then Hank says, "I'm Gribble's representative, but I'm kind of busy now." He goes, "It's here." He goes, "What's here? Do you have a pen?" By the way, hang on just a second. I think I got out of order here. I don't know what happened here. Anyway, it's Octavio as the doctor. And he says, "Do you have a pen?" "Yes." "Throw it away." "No, I'm sorry. The phone rings, and he picks up the phone, and the guy on one side says Gribble. He goes, "I'm Gribble's representative, but I'm kind of busy now." He goes, "It's here." He goes, "What's here?" "Do you have a pen?" "Yes." "Throw it away. No records, no trail. Comprende?" And he goes, see? And then the next thing we know, we're in the building. He's meeting with this really sketchy looking guy. If you've ever seen Rocky Horror Picture Show, it kind of looks like the butler, the little hunchback bald guy with the long blonde hair or whatever. Kind of looks like that guy, but in regular clothes. So he pulls up the door on the storage unit. And he goes, "Look, I don't know much about this process." And the weird guy says, "Gribble's got a standing order for alien urine, 8 drums, $319. You won't find a better price." He goes, "Oh, that seems like a lot of money. Are you sure we can't wait 30 hours?" He goes, "In 30 hours, it'll be pure Zephyrium." So this guy's as nuts as Dale.
Yeah, he sounds crazy. Yeah.
So he pulls out the checkbook to write a check. And at the top of the check, it says Dale's Dead Bug. And then right underneath it, it says a Liberian registered corporation. So he's registered in Liberia for Dale's Dead Bug.
Oh, yeah. Fun
Makes total
fact about
sense for
Liberia. Liberia was the first American attempt at colonizing Africa. What it was is they allowed free slaves. They started a colony for free slaves, freed slaves, so they could go back to Africa and start their African roots again. And that's there's a big civil war in Liberia that was between the Africans who had lived there, and then the American Africans who had went to resettle Africa and Liberia. That was where you get General Butt Naked and stuff like that, like all the children being drugged up and warring and stuff like that. That was in Liberia. I'm pretty sure it was in the 90s.
Yeah,
or
child
maybe
soldiers.
It was like 89 to 97 is when it was going on. It was like almost a decade long thing. Yeah, it was there was a lot of corruption and stuff like that, and the United States withdrew their support, and then there was this big overthrow and stuff. Yeah, crazy stuff.
Well, that's fun. Now we're back at Tom Landry Middle School. Another day of announcements, but it is now Bobby and Peggy. And Peggy's got her trusty cowbell. Bobby into the microphone. "Good morning, Tom Landry." And she goes, "Morning." And then she just rings the bell. Everybody reacts great. Now let's start with a look at traffic. We got an overturned backpack in front of the biology lab. Big bell. Woo, backpack. I mean, she is just repeating everything. He says, "In sports news, I still can't play them." More bell. She goes, "No good at sports." Everybody outside just loves it at this point. They're all being keyed in by this bell. They know when to laugh. Now we're back at the hospital, and we're outside the hospital, and we see Hank's truck, and there's a whole bunch of these 5-gallon barrels in the back of his car, all tied down. I'm assuming they're full of alien urine. Now we go inside, and the doctor comes out. He goes, "Doctor, how is he?" He goes, "You need to Gribble, right? I need to talk to you." Pulls the mask down, and it's Octavio. He goes, Octavio, he goes, it's Tuesday. I need you to break my fender. He goes, what? What are you asking me to help you commit some kind of fraud? He goes, are you backing out on me now, New Gribble? We had a deal. And then they go outside, and the next thing we see is Hank is just smacking Octavio's fender on his car to damage it. And after he finished, Octavio hands him a shot glass and goes, and now we drink. He goes, it's 10 a.m. Now we drink. And so they drink in the parking lot. I don't know what Dale's life is, but it looks like it is just full of crime and weird stuff. And just how he spends his day is amazing to me.
Yeah, it blows my mind, honestly. And then let's drink. That's kind of a crazy thing to say. Yeah.
Gets drunk at 10 a.m. and goes and kills some bugs, I guess. All right, we're back in the hospital. He goes up to the nurse's station and he goes, excuse me, nurse, is Dale Gribble out of surgery yet? She goes, one moment. And then she like ducks behind the desk and she gets on the phone real quick. She goes, he's here. No, he doesn't seem to know. And so we know something's up, right? Now we're in Dr.
Yeah, it's
Tabor's
looking kind of
office.
weird for sure.
Yeah. Now we're in Dr. Tabor's office, the doctor who operated on him. He goes, I'm sure you're aware, Mr. Hill, that there are limits to medical science. He goes, is this your way of telling me Dale's dead? He goes, oh, no. The removal of Dale's kidney went very smoothly. But the funny thing is that after all that, John Force didn't need it. He just had a little blockage in his renal artery. We were able to just pop it out just like that. That sounds terrible. And if you took my kidney out and you didn't need to take my kidney out, I would be suing the hospital. He goes, I promised Dale that nothing would go wrong. He goes, Hank, have you ever been to Mobile, Alabama? He goes, no.
Yeah,
what does that have to do with
this one's kind of tough? Pulling your
it's
kidney out and then I feel like you would get to the little blockage in this renal artery way before you got to the point of ripping out somebody else's kidney. Yeah,
You would sure think so. Yeah.
it seems
Yeah.
like that was delayed. Yeah.
He goes, no, what does that have to do with anything? Talking about Mobile, Alabama. He goes, there's a special young man there who could use a kidney. Little Timmy Croston, 10 years old, adorable, partly because he's so small. I spoke with Timmy's parents just 10 minutes ago. They're ready to jet copter him out here as soon as you give the word. I love the line. He's adorable, partly because he's so small. That means he's had all these health problems and he didn't grow. That's wonderful. He goes, all right. Let me
Probably
think
had
about this
rickets.
first.
Isn't that like a common thing they used to give kids in movies? Rickets.
Rickets. Yeah. He's like, please, sir, may I have another? He goes, it's a big decision. Can't it wait till Dale comes too? He goes, we don't have that kind of time. You have Mr. Gribble's power of attorney. Okay. Let me think about this for a second. He goes, what is there to think about? What kind of person wouldn't give a 10-year-old boy a kidney? He goes, well, Dale. He goes, Mr. Hill, we need your decision. Next thing we see is Dale is delirious in his hospital bed. He's starting to wake up and he goes, Nancy, what's Redcorn doing in our shower? Like he's still got his eyes closed. Hank clears his throat. He's like, he goes, oh, hey, Hank, how's John Force enjoying my kidney? Well, funny thing happened. John didn't actually need it. And where is it? I promised your kidney to a 10-year-old boy. He goes, what? You can't do that. I can't believe this. You were supposed to protect me. Yeah, I mean, I think I would respond the way that Dale did.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
He goes, what? You can't do that. I can't believe this. You were supposed to protect me. Oh, God, they know I know. I'm in the network. Why isn't my head wrapped in tinfoil? The doctor in there, he goes, Mr. Gribble, we're going to need you to calm down. Look at me. And they start to kind of control him and hold him down and start to sedate him. He goes, it's happening. The harvest has begun. How could you let this happen to me, Hank? I trusted you. I tried. He just falls asleep. He goes, oh, I'm sorry, Dale. The doctor says, Mr. Hill, you have nothing to feel guilty about. This was some typical post-op dementia brought on by the anesthesia. It was not the real Dale talking. Hank's like, no, that was him. He knows what it sounds like when Dale's freaking.
Yeah.
And that is our second commercial break. We will take that and we'll be
right back.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Tervis is all about staying hydrated. Each product is built to last and comes in endless designs to match your personality. Stay refreshed and express yourself with Tervis. Visit tervis.com today and find your perfect tumbler.
Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Since 2003, we've been connecting buyers and sellers, providing access to sold-out events at prices lower than most secondary market options. Whether it's sports, theater, or concerts, our massive nationwide network ensures you get the tickets you want, guaranteed. For the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. That's TICKETLIQUIDATOR.com. Ticket Liquidator. And we're back. I didn't talk about why we're recording remotely. I had a little procedure where they took some tubes and stuck them up my nose and went into my eardrums and then blew up these balloons to make my ear canals bigger.
Wow, that sounds insane.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. I can't blow my nose for 5 days. They said, don't blow your nose hard for 5 days. They said, whatever. But
well, that's terrifying.
It's weird. Yeah. Because like right now it kind of seems like, I don't know, like your head's stopped up, kind of how your ears feel sinus pressure or whatever. But after 5 days, I'm supposed to go back and see him. And I think it'll make things better. A lot of sinus issues and tinnitus and stuff like that. And I'm just trying to get ahead of it. So hopefully.
Yeah, not for sure. Yeah.
Stuff. All right, so we're at the Hill House. We're in bed again because we have to be in bed with Hank and Peggy once an episode, apparently. He's kind of rolling around, and she goes, ouch, Hank, my leg is not your conscience. Quit kicking it. He goes, yeah, I got nothing to be ashamed of about. I mean, it's a 10-year-old boy. I did the right thing, right? Right? But how can it be the right thing to stab a friend in the back? Peggy says, and stab in the back, like she's like she's a sidekick. She's like, and stab in the back. Oh, sorry, you did the right thing. She is. She's definitely in radio mode. All right. Later, they are asleep and they hear a bunch of noises. Both of them sit up real quick in bed and look towards the kitchen. Hank starts to kind of sneak in there. And I want it to be known that Hank has a golf club in his hand, not a gun. So
yeah, it's golf club.
This is yet another one of the, if you take it the right way, this is yet another one of the reasons that Hank is not that Republican right-wing guy that everybody thinks he is. He doesn't have a gun. He's got a golf club, which makes total sense because that's what I would have. I'd have a golf club or a bat or something like that. Just to, I don't even know that Hank has a gun.
I would expect he had a gun, but there's a lot of gun owners that I know that are conservative men that don't have the need to stockpile them. So my friend's grandpa was like that. My friend's grandpa had maybe 4 guns to like all of his neighbors, like 30, like all of his buddies all had like 20 guns or whatever. He had like a couple of shotguns of like, I think it was each one of a different gauge. he had like 2 hunting rifles and then like a little 22 rifle to shoot like at squirrels or rats or whatever in the yard, or gophers, not rats. But so really for me, like uh, guns, you don't have to be like a rabid gun nut like Dale. I feel like Hank probably has them. I feel like even Bill probably has a gun, unfortunately.
Probably. Well, Hank has at least 2 because of Bobby having one and him having one to go out hunting, and they've already done that. So that there's
Oh,
at
yeah,
least
yeah,
2
yeah.
in the house. Anyway, I like to point out when Hank is seen as not necessarily a gun-toting Republican or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so he starts sneaking into the kitchen. He sees somebody rifling through the fridge, and he goes, "Ah!" And he turns around, and it's Octavio. He goes, "Octavio?" He goes, "Yo, I say, where's Gribble's kidney? I lined up a buyer in Caracas. He outbid the dude in Ireland by 40 euros." He goes, Dale's kidney isn't in there. It's at the hospital." He goes, "Oh." And then he just dives out the kitchen window like he was never
For
there.
whatever reason, yeah, I was never here. Yeah.
Right. He was never there. All right, we're back at Tom Landry Middle School, the radio. It's time for the announcements. He goes, "This is it, Mom. Our last show. Word is, if it goes well, we're going to get a spot in the school time capsule." She goes, "I am ready." Then in comes Principal Moss real quick. He goes, "Peggy, thank God you were standing here. Sarah Cook just got a DWI on her way in, mind you." He goes, "How would you like to sub in Spanish? Now it's going to require a 2-week commitment." She goes, "Oh my God, I could give a test and grade it." He goes, "Great. Well, move it. There's a fish tank in that classroom I got a bad feeling about." She goes, "Bobby, I know you can do this on your own." He goes, "Yeah, oh, sure." He's got all these like buzzers and horns and
Oh,
cowbells and
yeah, all
stuff all
kinds of
sitting on the
stuff.
desk to make all kinds of noise. And she goes, "But you won't have to. Principal Moss, I'm sorry. I have a previous commitment." He goes, "Okay, Schmidt, you're going to the show." And he points to one of the teachers just waiting there, ready to go. She's very excited. And then we get Bobby with, "Good morning, Tom Landry Middle School. I hope you're all clean." Tom Laundry Middle School. "I hope you're all." He goes, "Tom Laundry," and then rings a bell real loud. All right, we're back at the hospital with Dale in the bed. And Hank comes up and goes, "Dale, look, I know that you and Octavio are trying to sell your kidney, and I can't let it happen. Not when there's a 10-year-old boy who needs it." He goes, "It's okay, Hank. We called that off. I put you in charge for a reason. I knew you'd do the right thing when I couldn't be trusted to. Thanks, friend." He kind of turns over and looks like he's going to sleep. Hank leaves. Dale's eyes open real wide. He gets up. He gets his IV. He's got his ass hanging out of his hospital gown, and he starts sneaking away. Hank goes up to the doctor. He says, "Dr. Tabor, I think Dale's kidney could be in danger." He goes, "Mr. Hill, despite our little oversight with John Forrest, I assure you we're on top of—" Good God. And he looks down at the camera, and it's Dale. He's in there with the fridge where the kidneys are stored. And he goes, he sees Dale getting his kidney out on camera. And then we go over to Dale. He pulls it out of the box, goes, smells it. And he goes, "It's mine. Let's get you home." Like he can just smell his own kidney. They come rushing in, Hank and the doctor. He goes, "His kidney's gone." And then we see Dale up in the air vents, pushing the cooler around that says "live transplant." He goes, "Losing strength, must maintain focus." And then he just, he's like outside. And you see the kid's helicopter arrive. So here's a poor little kid in a wheelchair. And then Dale just keeps pushing, comes down into the operating room and says, "Excuse me, doc, small change in your schedule. You're to reimplant this kidney in me for safekeeping and then re-extract it when I locate a suitable buyer." Hank and the doctor bust in. Hank's like, "Dale, stop." He goes, "Back off. Come any closer, and this baby's good for nothing but an Englishman's breakfast." And he's threatening his own kidney with like a bone saw, that he picks up right there. And I don't know where the security is in this hospital. Number one.
Yeah, I'm not sure at all. Well,
That is
security was more relaxed back then, I think, than it is nowadays in hospitals. Nowadays, you have to have your ID and everything, and they got to give you a guest pass on your chest and all kinds of stuff. So
yeah, he's
Not
this
too
is
bad.
definitely before they started being secure. He goes, He goes, back off. This thing's nothing good for an Englishman's breakfast. And like I say, he's threatening with a bone saw. Hank says, now, Dale, hold on. Let's just talk about this. He goes, no, now I'm going to need an unmarked jet and 2 parachutes, 1 kidney size. Also, and the doctor busts in, there's no time for this. In another couple of hours, this kidney is going to be of no use to anyone. Dale says, then I've got no time for chit chat. He runs out. They start chasing him. They go through some rooms and stuff looking for him. Old lady sticks her head out and goes, oh, a visitor. Hank's like, no. And then you see Dale sneak into the kids' room. So this is the 10-year-old boy. He got into the hospital very quickly. And he goes up to him. He goes, you the kid that's making all the noise about? He goes, yeah, what do you want? The kid's in there just playing his Game Boy, waiting. He goes, $43,000. The kid goes, I don't have that. He goes, well, if you want my kidney, it's not a one-way street. I'll start with this. And he takes his Game Boy. He goes, what else you got? Hank comes in. He finds a little lollipop tree over there that's been given to this kid. He goes, these any good? Kid goes, I don't know. And I want all of them, and the fire truck, and the catcher's mitt, and that Jell-O. The kid goes, okay. He goes, deal. And he sets the container with the kidney in the kid's lap, and he goes, at least once a week, give him a can of Mountain Dew. He likes that. He leaves with all the stuff and Hank. Hank just kind of watches all this unfold, and he goes, Dale, here's your power of attorney back. You're right. It wasn't easy being you. He goes, I know. Did you get me the alien urine? He says, yep, cost $319. He goes, that's my rate. And you assisted Octavio? He goes, bashed his fender with a rebar. That's my MO. Hank, it sounds like he did everything right except giving away my kidney. And since I traded it for a bunch of kitty toys, I guess we both let me down. So while you were me, did you sleep with Nancy? He goes, no. He goes, too late. And then we get our credits. That's it. So Dale ended up doing the right thing for a bunch of suckers and a fire truck.
For a bunch of suckers and a fire truck. Come on.
We get our credits now. In the script, I have Octavio saying, and now we drink. But on Hulu, it is Peggy saying flapjack with the bell. So we got two little differences there. Not sure why they do that.
I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't know. I don't even have a fan theory either. So,
and that is it, guys. Remember that.
That one.
Remember that we have the shirt ready to go over at roguemediamerch.com. If you'd like one of those, it is our first in a line of shirts that we're going to be putting out for the show, with quotes from the show, quotes from us, different little things. I'm going to put some hats, some stickers, some things like that up there.
Yeah.
And so we'll get back to that. Let's see. Let's get us in the right shape here. There we go. And we will be back on Friday with a That Ain't Friday episode. If they want more of us, where can they find it?
BWAAAKOTH at all social media. And if you're listening to this via audio, you could go to youtube.com/@BWAAAKOTH and be sure to hit the like, follow, subscribe, share, and save and clip. And do all those things.
All of those things. RJ McLean says, "We Matanye boys, blah, 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 blah. Good to see you." Ghetto Cowboy had a good point. He said he's afraid of guns in a way, if you recall that episode in season 2. And
he is afraid of guns in a way, yeah.
Elsway, TJ Ferguson, a lot of you guys here. We really appreciate you all being here. If you are hanging on, then we're going to record Friday's episode, and we'll see you then. So I think that just leaves one thing left to say.
We Matanye.
We Matanye indeed. We'll see you guys. This has been a Rogue Media Network production.